Not everyone can see it. Not everyone has been marked. But there are those who carry in their essence 7 invisible signs, a seal that sets them apart from the rest of the world. These are not visible scars or inscriptions on the skin, but an indelible mark on the soul, a calling that resonates beyond reason. This is no coincidence. It is destiny. If you have ever felt like you don't fit in, like your path seems to be guided by a force that defies all logic, perhaps you too bear these marks. But the last of them is the most powerful. Since time immemorial, the chosen ones have walked among us, guided by something that separates them from the rest. They do not follow the paths that others tread. Their steps seem designed for a purpose they do not yet fully understand, but one that draws them in with the force of a magnet. This is not something one chooses. It is not a gift that can be claimed. It is a destiny that was written long before they were even aware of their existence. Only those destined for a higher mission can perceive what others could never comprehend. But here arises the great question: how do you know if you are truly one of them? There are 7 invisible marks, signs that distinguish the chosen ones from the rest of the world. Today, we will reveal them one by one. And when you reach the last one, you may discover that the calling has always been within you. First invisible mark: the discomfort you provoke in others. You don't need to speak. You don't need to do anything. And yet, certain people react as if your mere existence were a threat. This is no coincidence. There is something about you that disturbs those who hide behind masks, those who weave shadows with false words, and those who are trapped in the density of their own energy. Sometimes, the discomfort is subtle, a fleeting gesture, a glance that averts when you cross their path. Other times, it is more evident, hostility without apparent reason, unexplained rejection, sharp words that try to hurt you for no reason. No matter how it manifests, the message is always the same: your essence clashes with what is not authentic. It's not that you seek confrontation. It's not that you try to expose anyone. But the truth you carry within is too luminous to go unnoticed. The chosen ones radiate something that cannot be hidden, and that light, unintentionally, exposes what many prefer to keep in the shadows. This is why some people cannot remain by your side. They distance themselves, attack you, resist your presence. But make no mistake, it is not your burden, it is their reflection. You are not being rejected, it is that your spirit is too pure to mix with what is false. You are not being excluded, it is that your energy only allows what is genuine to remain. So, if you have ever felt that certain toxic people disappear from your life without explanation, do not take it as a loss. It is not a coincidence, nor a simple drifting apart. It is the manifestation of a greater force purifying your path. This is the first sign. It is not you who pushes them away, it is your destiny that expels them. And when this happens, it is because you are advancing on a path that not everyone can walk. Second mark: they feel things before they happen. There are truths that do not need to be seen to be understood. Some souls do not wait for destiny to unfold before them, they perceive it before it happens. The chosen ones carry within them an echo of the future, a silent connection with what has yet to take shape. This is not just any premonition or a fleeting thought that dissolves with time. It is a deep certainty, a whisper in the consciousness that warns without apparent reason, an inexplicable feeling that pushes them to act before something happens. Sometimes, it manifests as a sudden unease, an unexpected change of direction that ends up saving them from a wrong decision. Other times, it appears in dreams, in visions that seem like simple nighttime images but later, as days pass, reveal their true meaning. This is no coincidence. It is an invisible thread that connects them to what has yet to occur. but this mark is not easy to bear. Knowing too much can be a burden. They have sensed danger without concrete proof, have wanted to warn someone and not been heard, have known that something was about to happen and yet could not prevent it. Over time, they learn that this ability is not for convincing others, but for trusting themselves. The chosen ones do not just see the world with their eyes, they read it with their soul. If you have ever felt that something was warning you before it happened, if the future has whispered to you in ways you cannot explain, it is possible that this is the second mark you carry within you. Third mark, the envious attack them without reason. They do not seek conflict, but conflict seems to find them. They do not provoke anyone, yet they become the target of criticism, rejection, and envy. The chosen ones do not have to do anything to unsettle those who live in the shadows, their mere existence is enough. No matter how kind they are, how much they help, or how discreetly they live their lives, there will always be someone who looks at them with disdain, who criticizes them behind their back, who seeks to dim their light. The reason is simple: their light is too intense for those who have grown accustomed to darkness. It is not arrogance, nor superiority, it is authenticity. It is a pure essence that resists falsehood, a presence that awakens what others would prefer to ignore within themselves. Envy does not always arise from what they possess, but from what they are. It is not their success that bothers others, but their ability to shine without needing anyone's validation. It is not what they do, but how they walk through life with an unshakable purpose. And this, for many, is unbearable. At first, it may hurt. The betrayal of a friend, the unjustified contempt of a colleague, the whispers of those who try to tarnish their essence with venomous words. But over time, the chosen ones understand the truth: these attacks are a confirmation, not an obstacle. Because when the world tries to extinguish you, it is a sign that you shine too brightly to be ignored. If you have ever felt the weight of envious gazes without reason, if you have been rejected without having done anything, it is possible that this is the third mark you carry within. Fourth mark, they feel they don't belong. You are a soul that does not belong to just any place. From the very beginning, they have felt that something about them doesn't quite fit. They can be surrounded by people, engage in conversations, share moments, but deep down, there is a persistent feeling that their soul is heading in a different direction. It is not a matter of shyness or rejection of others, but an essential difference in how they perceive the world. The chosen ones do not find satisfaction in superficiality. While many seek to fit into groups, predictable dynamics, and empty conversations, they yearn for something more. They crave depth, meaning, connections that go beyond the obvious. And this has made them feel like outsiders more than once, as if they were pieces of a puzzle that never quite fit. In their attempt to belong, they may have tried to change, to mold themselves to what is expected of them. But sooner or later, that feeling returns. Because they were not born to follow the crowd. They are not here to fit in just anywhere, but to walk a path that few dare to tread. And over time, they discover something powerful: not fitting in is not a problem, it is a sign. Instead of forcing themselves to fit into places where their light is not understood, they begin to attract the right people, those who truly resonate with their energy. If you have ever felt that, no matter where you are, something within you remains apart, perhaps you carry one of the invisible marks of the chosen ones. And if this already feels familiar, wait to discover what comes next, because it may reveal something even deeper about you. Fifth mark, the pure are drawn to them. Not only do toxic people seem to react to their presence, but so do those who still retain purity in their essence. While some adults may feel uncomfortable around them, there are others who, without words or explanations, are simply drawn to them. Children and animals seem to perceive something that others cannot see. It is common for a baby to stare at them with silent curiosity, as if recognizing something familiar in them. for children to immediately trust them, as if they were lifelong friends. For animals to approach without fear, seeking their companionship without needing to be called. This is no coincidence. The chosen ones radiate a different energy, a vibration that cannot be faked or hidden. It is something that the purest among us detect immediately. For them, there are no masks, no appearances, only the truth of who they really are. But this connection does not always go unnoticed. Some have experienced strange moments, like feeling the persistent gaze of an unknown child in a public place, or noticing that an animal follows them for no apparent reason. What to many might seem like a simple coincidence, to the chosen ones is another confirmation of their essence. If you have ever noticed that the most innocent seek you out, that animals follow you without reason, or that children feel at peace by your side, you might be experiencing one of the invisible signs of those who have been set apart for something greater. There is something in you that you cannot see, but that the purest among us perceive clearly. No matter where you are, children and animals react differently when you are near. This is no coincidence, it is the fifth sign of the chosen ones, a presence that radiates calm, trust, and an energy that only the most innocent beings can recognize. Adults often ignore these subtle vibrations, but young children and animals do not need words or explanations. They feel. A baby observes you with an inexplicable intensity, as if finding something familiar in your gaze. A child who has never seen you before takes your hand with absolute naturalness. A dog stops in its tracks to follow you for no apparent reason. You cannot fake this energy or hide it. It is part of who you are. You radiate a different vibration, a clean and sincere frequency that only the most innocent hearts can perceive. But this sign also brings disconcerting moments. Perhaps an unknown cat has jumped into your lap as if you were its lifelong owner, or a child on the street has smiled at you with the certainty of recognizing a kindred soul. These are subtle details, but when they happen again and again, they cease to be coincidences. Sixth mark, they feel the weight of intercession. The chosen ones often feel a deep, almost inexplicable urge to pray for others. It is not just a casual thought or a fleeting moment of concern. It is a profound sense of responsibility, a spiritual burden that compels them to intercede on behalf of those who are suffering, lost, or in need. This mark is not always easy to carry. They may feel overwhelmed by the weight of the world's pain, sensing the struggles of others even when they are not directly expressed. But in their prayers, they find a powerful connection to something greater, a force that moves beyond the visible and into the realm of the divine. If you have ever felt an inexplicable pull to pray for someone, even if you don't know them well, or if you have experienced moments where your prayers seem to bring about unexpected change, this could be the sixth mark of the chosen ones. Seventh and final mark, when they pray, the world shakes. When a chosen one raises their prayer, something moves. It is not just a whisper to the wind or a mechanical repetition of words. It is a call that resonates in the invisible, a spark that ignites the divine. Throughout their lives, they have witnessed the inexplicable. They have cried out in moments of anguish, and circumstances, against all odds, have shifted in their favor. Blocked paths have cleared, insurmountable barriers have crumbled, and what seemed like a dead end has transformed into an open door. But this is not magic, nor is it luck. It is the echo of their faith resonating in eternity. This does not mean their life is easy or that they receive everything they desire. In fact, the path of the chosen ones is filled with trials, challenges that others will never understand. However, there is one thing that never changes: when they pray, something happens. Sometimes, the answer comes in the form of a tangible miracle. Other times, as a strength that sustains them in the midst of the storm. They may not see the change immediately, but every prayer uttered in faith plants a seed that, sooner or later, will bear fruit. But this mark is not just about their own life. They have felt in their spirit the weight of interceding for others. They have seen people freed from burdens they didn't even know they carried, simply because someone prayed for them in silence. And this is no coincidence. It is purpose. If you have ever felt the power of prayer transforming the impossible, if you have witnessed how everything changes after raising a cry of faith, then you have touched the deepest mark of all. Because while other signs may be subtle, this one is undeniable. When the chosen ones pray, heaven leans in to listen. Not everyone has been marked. And now you understand. Throughout this journey, you have crossed a threshold that few even know exists. These marks are not common, they are not within everyone's reach. They are hidden signs, scars of the soul that only those destined for something greater can bear. This knowledge is not for everyone. It is a calling, not an invitation. It is not about understanding it with the mind, but recognizing it in the deepest part of the spirit. And if, at any point, you felt that one of these signs reflected what lives within you, then you are not here by coincidence. This is bigger than you imagine. It is a reminder of who you are and what you carry within. If you have felt this truth in the depths of your being, leave a comment saying, "I am chosen." Not out of arrogance, but as an act of certainty. Because those who are called do not need proof, only faith. The path will not be easy, but the promise is real. Stay firm. Do not stop. Because what is coming is not just good, it is transcendent. And when the moment comes, when the shadows try to extinguish your light, when the world does not understand what you carry, remember this. The marked cannot hide. The chosen ones always awaken.